So we are here again on another podcast. It's been
yeah.
actually been a while since we had our last conversation.
And
It's been.
a lot of stuff going behind the scene.
Yeah. I know you're building your brand.
I know building your brand.
I'm also trying to build my brand.
Well, like a lot of stuff people are doing now. It's been very hectic these past few months. Just thank God for everything.
Oh, can we talk about what we've been up to like in the next few seconds?
Start.
Yeah, I should go first.
Yes.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, trying to build my brand. I put out a very like a 15-page book.
Yeah, that's everyone. Please go and buy.
Talking about
management
deals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm also trying to. I'm working with a few people trying to make sure they get the best deals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like I'm more focused on like you said, building my brand. There are a lot of stuff I'm doing that's not more about legal services too.
Yeah.
So but more of like music business.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But then when it comes to the legal side of it, I'm trying to like make sure the clients get their work working effectively and efficiently. So yeah. It's very stressful, but thank God. Thank God.
Alright. So without wasting much time, I want us to go into the topic for today. We're talking about artist development. I believe we live in times when everybody wants to blow. There seems to have, should I say, forgotten that there's a process.
Yeah.
There are stages to these things, and jumping one stage will be could be harmful in a way to the artist. Do you believe that is?
What I really believe is that when it comes to artists in Africa, like we don't have a template, so we don't really know how it's meant to be when it comes to stage marking their development stages and knowing how far your artist has gone from point A to point C. So I believe that is like one of the vital discussion we need to be having. And I think the most important reason why we're having this kind of scenario playing out is because we don't really have an efficient framework. You understand? So people just wake up one morning and then tag themselves artists and arts making music. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do, but I want to say that like there should be a kind of guideline for you coming out, because that is why most times when artists like get popular or come to limelight, it doesn't take that long to like miss that point. They just scared of the line. So that's just like you have to have a plan. And I think that's like one issue we're having now.
So if we want to define artist development, what are we going to call it? Can we call it the stage, the process like a musician goes through to perfect his craft and all of that before he gets to the limelight? What would you call artist development?
You know, like in my opinion, I feel artist development can come in 2 points, right? So some people define it as a process and an artist goes through, you understand, before coming to limelight, right? Someone else will see it as different stages to an artist brand, right? So it's not a particular, it's not a process that happens once. It's a continuous process. So
if you call it continuous process, you can call it stages.
You can call it artist development cycle.
Artist development cycle. Okay. So will you be right to talk about the stages of the artist development cycle?
I believe that people should, especially artists need to know these circles and to know, and their managers also know that too, because it will help them to track the artist's development. They can track how the improvement of that artist brand and how far that has gone and how far that is meant to go to get to the next stage or the next circle and all that stuff. So I think it's very vital. And I also believe that like it's not going to be a conversation that is going to be had by only record label executives. Because what I've noticed is that most times people, when they talk about artist development, most people feel it's for record labels. But I realize that it's more than that. If you're an artist and if you are going to go to the industry, you should be able to know the stages, right? You should know, you should be able to track your progression. You understand? That will help you to know your value addition. You understand? And that, I think that's very
I've
important.
seen a few situations where even when an artist has been signed to a label, you don't hear about him for a while. Like it seems that they are just in the label, but there's a lot going on that is not really shown to the public.
Yeah.
So I know that from this I started with that came out recently. From what Don Jazzy said, he said that she has been there for over a year, being with the label. I don't even know about that. Yeah, she has been there for over a year, but it seems that she was in the label, but she didn't show her to the public yet. There is a stage that she had to pass through. You understand? So I want us to talk about the stages of artist development. What do you think? An artist that wants to start up, what do you think like is the first stage or first thing that he has to do as an artist?
I think like the first thing that comes when it comes to artist development is regards to your realization stage. I call it realization stage. When you realize that you can sing, so you have a good vocal skill.
Yeah, if you can sing, then you have no business being.
You have no business. You can be a songwriter anyways.
Yeah, you can be a songwriter. And there are other professions in the music business.
You can be a recording artist. You can also be performing artist, but you can be a recording artist. Doesn't make sense. So I think like the first stage is what I call the realization stage. So when you realize that you have this kind of vocal skill, and then probably when you sing in your bedroom and when you sing that song, your parents come to tell you, oh, you have a good voice.
Yeah.
And then people around you, your close friends, keep telling you the same thing. So that's like the first stage to me. And I feel like that is really the shortest because and that's like also the stage that can actually confuse you or deceive you too. Because most times what we realize that family, friends and close relatives don't love to hurt our feelings.
Exactly.
So they can just tell you, oh, you have a good voice, or I think you can sing. And one thing that's realized that most times people feel like when you're in the choir, right? You can sing. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can sing.
It depends on the choir.
But it really depends on the choir. It depends on the kind of all that things. Your vocal skill development too, like it should be something that you can work with. And I believe that's the problem we're having now. Right? People are too quick to conclude and call themselves an artist.
Yeah.
I believe that calling yourself an artist is not the first stage.
So there's a stage before you become an artist, and that's
the first stage. You have to realize that's what we call realization stage. When you realize that realization, you realize that I can sing. Why can you sing? Because people, your close friends and family tell you you can sing. You have a good vocal skill, right? And you can be able to improve on that. Because if you're saying everything is about improvements, you understand? So you can improve on that. That's the first stage. So the second thing is your what I call it's also part of the first stage, but at this point you try to ensure. So apart from just getting to know from your friends and close ones, you go out. You understand? You go out like meet people. So for instance, you start making covers of popular songs.
Okay, I'm posting
on social media platforms and getting responses and feedbacks. And that feedback can come in two places, positive and negative. Both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. Right? So you shouldn't, because someone says, oh, have a bad voice, or try to give you a correction, you just disregard that or ignore that. No. You try to ensure that you put everything into perspective.
I think it's also about having people that tell you the honest truth, that don't try to make you feel good every time. You need people in this stage where people that will tell you, this is your skill. You have to brush it up.
Yeah. I think that is why I said it's not going to be easy for you to conclude just on the first stage. You understand? You have to understand the fact that the ability of your family to tell you the truth is very thin because they don't touch your feelings. That's why you have to start making videos on social media. Let people that don't know you tell you the truth. You understand? And I think that's very important because it will aid you to understand whether you really want to be into this or not.
Can we use engagement on social media to prove that actually a good artist? Because sometimes you could see a very good artist in quote who put something online and it doesn't seem to have a lot of engagement. Does that mean that this artist should focus on that thing?
Mind you, at this point, I'm not even calling you an artist yet.
this person that put it.
Because at this point, they didn't making music, he just making covers. And that's why it's very important for you to make covers first. Because if you make covers of popular songs, you're making covers of a song that is known. So it's not your own song.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's the possibility of people hating on you for no reason is not there.
Okay.
If your cover is good,
Yeah.
it will go well. If it's not good, it won't go well. Right? So, and it goes down to you being able to convince people with your vocal skills and how you're able to like, okay, work out your mixing and all that stuff. And that's why I think that's what Joe Boy also did. Because they're not Joe Boy at the point. Before Easy got to know Joe Boy, Joe Boy made the cover of a song called, I think Joe Boy made a skit or something on social media platform. That was how Easy got to know about.
So many artists have been known through covers.
Exactly, even Miracle too.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, that is like the first thing you do. You don't just start putting out music. You understand? Like, you need to really understand the industry you're going into and the role you need to play. Because there are a lot of people that want to be in the music business, but they feel like the first thing first, they want to be the one on the limelight.
Yeah.
So they want to be the artist.
As I said, they want to blow.
But that's not like, there are a lot of people doing the real stuff in the background. Like, they're not known. You understand? And this is not work. You understand? So like, you don't need to be on the limelight to be a music business exec or be in the industry or be an industry player. You understand? So at this point, I'm not calling you an artist. I'm calling you someone that has interest to be an artist. You're making popular covers. You're making short skits of your own songs. Probably something that you're just your bedroom just walks down and like feel like you can sing to people. And most times, most of these vocal skills don't need any kind of production or any beat or any melody. Just your vocal skills. You understand? It's good to know what you have and what you're offering. Right? Yeah. So I think after the second stage, which I call the determination stage. Determination.
Do you name this thing so it has a name?
I name myself.
Okay.
Well, I just name because I name myself. But I think I felt for the tone. I think I felt I heard about this thing from Godinton, the way he named it. But I don't think I'm listening the way he said it anyways. But along the line, I had like come up with my own kind of
a way to group it.
So I can't forget what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like the dimension stage, I actually divided into. So the first one is this one. Now so you have to like go out, apart from your family, go out the crowd, go out the streets, make music, make covers, make short skits, go to media platforms, like people see you, people be aware of you, sponsor that and all that. So people see and people remark and you build your knowledge from what comment they're making. You understand? And most of people can hate anyways, but then you know how to make constructive and conclusion and that's people's reaction to your music. So work with that. You understand? And then after making that, after that point, right? It is for you to do okay. When you are done with all those conclusions, then you need to think yourself, am I ready to go into this industry? Okay, I want to be an artist now. Okay, people say I have a good voice. Or people have been able to say, oh, congratulations, wow, I have a good voice, I think you can do this industry. Okay, fine. So what is your philosophy? I call it artist philosophy. That is, why are you coming to the industry?
What's your wife name?
Yeah, why are you coming to the industry? What are you doing in the industry? You understand? You don't just come to an industry or start making music. You must have a reason why you're making music. You must have a reason why.
I think this will also determine the kind of music you're going to.
Exactly.
Like whether you want to be a full-time gospel musician, per se, or you want to go into what we call secular music and all of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a popular saying by this a music business exec, I'm free for the person, but what they said was people don't buy what you sell, but why you sell it. Yeah, so you just have to realize that it's not going to be all about making music. It's about what's the philosophy behind the music you're making. You understand? What genre are you making? And even the genre you're making, why are you making music in the first place? That will really influence not only your music, but your brand as a whole. So I believe that is the second thing. And I think the most important thing for you is to realize that on your own. And I say this because if you don't have an idea why you are in the music industry, anything that sway you, right? Anybody can come and tell you something, you just move. And you make music that does not have any consistency. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize that, and this is why you have to make this decision on this stage is because at this point there's no pressure on you. Right? Nobody's giving you any pressure, nobody's asking you what to do, you're just doing it on your own. And I feel that's the reason why most of these record labels don't display artists going through the circle.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because why?
Yeah, because they believe that there will be a pressure on them. For instance, if you have known Artiste before now,
Yeah.
you understand? Next year, you know, you want to start following on social media. And just on social media, next thing you want to know is when she is releasing new content, when she will put out new music. That's pressure already.
Yes.
So that's why they don't bring them out yet. And that's how it's going to be too. So as an artist, as someone that's decided within yourself that you want to be an artist, after knowing that, after getting that kind of validation, is that the first validation stage, or the second stage of validation stage. After getting the validation of people that, oh, they know what you're doing, think you have a local skill. Before you move into the establishment stage, you understand? So the second stage is called validation establishment.
The first one, we call the first one realization.
Yes.
We call the second one
validation.
Validation.
Yes.
Okay.
So in that's one thing where you have to like get all the kind of comments you need from external people that don't know, people that's not close to you, and all that. So after that,
do you think this point is a time to probably create maybe a demo track or something that you could send to people?
It's not yet time.
To create a demo.
It's not yet time.
Okay.
It's not yet time. The fact that people say they love your voice, don't mean you're a good songwriter.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
I don't even you know what you want to music you want to make.
Okay.
So you have to be that's the thing that you have to sit down and come to a conclusion. And it might not take you 1 day, 2 days. So I always say that when it comes to an artist brand, I don't think you don't think it's rush. There's no limitation to you coming to limelight to blow, to have any kind of age brackets or duration.
Yeah.
You have to work on your own brand. So when you're coming in, people know, oh, this guy knows what he or she is doing. So that's just it. So the third stage, which they call the determination stage, right, is when you start getting all these things to picture. Know your artist philosophy, know who you are as an artist, why you're making music, why you want to make music, and the kind of music you want to make. The next thing you have to do is build a team.
So this is the point where you start getting a team.
Exactly.
I think we talked about
and I was
the first one we did. So at this point you get a team. So we've already talked about this. When you want to get a team, you're talking about a manager, lawyer. At this point, you're not talking about a business manager because you're not bringing any funds and all of that. Yes. So what we're talking about now is the establishment stage. The determination stage.
Yes.
Right. So how many stages are we talking about here?
There's almost like 5 stages.
And I know you know everything in your head.
No, it's like something like I'm working on the blueprints for these documents. So I'm very lazy. I'm working on that blueprint since one quarter of last year. I've not been able to complete it yet because there's certain variables that are very subjective.
Very true.
That I need to like have an experience which I cannot have yet because I'm feeling like a lot of things I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, I'm going towards saying that I'll be able to have my first manuscript by the end of this year. So that is something I'm very concerned about because I believe it has a lot of role to play to determine which artist stays longer in the industry and which brand has more value in the industry. So that is just it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go about. I think we're moving very fast. Do you think we're rushing this?
We're just vibing.
We don't have a script to.
Exactly. So like anyhow.
We don't have a script. It's just a discussion. All right. So let's talk about after this stage, determination stage we talked about. Yeah. Where the artist at this point gets a team and all of that. That's about the stage. Then we're talking about the fourth stage, which you call
the establishment stage.
Establishment stage. So what happens at this stage?
That's like the main stage. That's like that thing can take as a whole kind of a lot of years to surpass.
What happens at this stage?
This one. After you've been able to build a team, you have known your this thing, you have known your philosophy. Start making music. Start pushing the music based on the kind of music you want to push out your philosophy. And this is where a lot of work comes in because to get into that mainstream. I thought about mainstream. Like most times, some artists don't really want to go mainstream anyways.
Yeah.
Most people just want to like make music for a particular niche You understand? So like you have to know what you're making. That's also like you have to like understand your brand, get your own voice, you understand, and then work with it. So get your own voice means you have to also know whether you are going to go mainstream or it's a particular niche. For instance, if you're making country music.
Yeah, you can't be especially in a country like Nigeria.
Yeah, so when you're country music, you have a particular niche. You make Afrobeat, then you know what you're going into. And that also also help you consider whether you need to go in-house, so go into a record label or be independent. Yeah, so that kind of thing. So after making all those kind of conclusions and making a decision on that, what the dimension stage, before you move to the saturation stage, that's when you start making your music, at your own content.
Let's say an artist wants to desires, let's say, to be signed to a label. At what point in the artist's career, we have talked about all the stages of development. So at what stage in the artist's career do you think it's best to probably start scouting or start looking for? I know that some of our artists got deals when they started making covers, and we talked about that as the first or second stage. We talked about that.
The first stage.
Okay. So at what point do you think an artist should start probably scouting or looking for better opportunities when you talk about maybe a label or an investor, or looking at what stage do you?
I actually believe it's more about your kind of music, right? And I don't think there's any best stage, sincerely, because it depends on what you want. Depends on what you want, right? For instance, now, and you know, most record labels have artist development circles. They go through that process for you. So if you realize that you have a good sound, you can just go meet a good label and try to push it there. You understand? They might like you. You understand? You can also do it when you have been able to like build your own team and you're trying to make your own music. You can do that too. So there's no particular best point. It all has to do with your the kind of conversation you're having and the interest that's at stake. You understand? So that's just it.
So let's say an artist wants to pitch a song to a record label. Of course, you know that the internet is the best ways. Instagram is one of the best ways to get people to listen to your music. What other ways do you think an artist who wants to go mainstream, like probably get an investor, or what other way do you think it's best to get somebody to invest in your music?
You can start by sending demos, right? You need to send demos to their art department or someone that you know that works in that record label. I think the executive to go through the demo and you understand. I think like the most important thing is having someone that you know, you understand, that works in the record label and get your demo to them. That's the second after social media platforms. Because these days now it's more about social media.
You don't know who's watching.
And that's like most. I think right now, artists don't like the art department in record labels don't even waste time going to demos. You just look at that's regards to your social media platforms. Look at your engagement, your fans engagement. Then go to your streaming platforms. Look at the total number of streams you have had as an artist and how the growth has been. You understand? So that's like most what they go through now. And then apart from demos, you also send your EPK, or called electronic press kit. It's like an artist bio that tells you more about the artist, his sound, also his streaming numbers and all platforms and all that stuff. So, yeah.
How do you get that?
Most times, the best time manager that makes that or like build that.
Okay, so at this point, you already has a manager, definitely.
Yes, of course. That's like you're able to go to the dimension stage. You're not like in the establishment stage now.
I think we live in times when so many artists that are upcoming online, they want to have this kind of aesthetic on the page. Rather than posting content, you want it to look a certain way. So you probably put something out and delete it. So you see somebody that needs something, probably an investor, you have 3 posts on your page, or you have 4 posts on your page. I think I saw a post by Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy commented on his post saying that there's no work showing on your page. There's no work showing on your page, so you can't just need help and the platform where people can see you. You don't seem to be putting in the work. You might be putting in a lot of work, but I feel like artists also have to take as priority social media, and not just social media, putting in content regularly.
I believe it's lack of patience. Lack of patience, because for someone that's been building content and putting out there in your platforms, and then one of the days just woke up one morning and just deleted your content.
Just
Lack
like
of patience. But the issue is that someone is watching you. I keep saying that. Not all they're doing live.
Yeah.
Someone is watching you.
People are watching. No,
Like, I don't say people watch, I can't be sure of that, but someone is watching. One person is watching. I'm sure one person is watching you.
Yeah.
And what they want is consistency. You understand? What they want is consistency. And that's one issue I have in Nigeria. Most artists in Nigeria don't have patience. They want to blow to them. They really want to blow. But they really don't know that this is not about you getting to the limelight. It's about can you sustain the limelight.
Yes, if not, you could just blow.
Because it's very easy for someone to blow.
And unblow.
It's more about you making that appearance and owning that stage. You understand? And saying, no, I'm not going anywhere again. I want to stay here.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of work. You understand? So, patience is what artists need. You understand? Knowing that your own time will come. If you are good, you are good. Nobody will know that one day your time will come. You understand? So just keep building your content. You understand? Keep building your content. And all I keep saying is that artists get a work.
Like if 95.
It must not be 95. But get something that's paying you. As a time to build your brand, get something paying you.
Yeah, but you know sometimes it looks like an artist is not focused. Imagine an artist trying to release music today and tomorrow is selling shoe. Do you understand? So
let me tell you something, man. Most of these artists we know that are making the voice now had a work before they came to limelight.
of course.
You understand? So what's something for getting a work?
But you cannot I feel like you cannot, even if you are getting a work, the work shouldn't be at the front. You shouldn't be showing the internet your work.
Of course, you won't show them the work. As a brand, you be doing your work or putting out your own content, your own platforms.
Yeah.
But have a work that's paying you.
Of course.
So take a bit offset your bills. And I think the reason why they're not patient. Because they are always waiting for the money to come in.
From the music.
And that's why, because they're waiting for the money to come in, they are so eager to sign anything that comes their way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And once you don't have leverage, you don't have you sign nonsense deals.
So get a work. So you cannot offset your bills. Because the music industry is not about making money for you. You invest. Do you understand? You invest. Most investors in the music business brought money in. Money is not just coming for them. They brought money in to get money. And sometimes you even make, if not almost less than what you brought in for the few years you came into the picture.
Yeah.
So just get a work, offset your bills. And I'm saying this if you're independent, you understand, get a work. But I know that most record labels at least give monthly allowances.
Of course.
But if you're independent, get a work that's going to pay you. You understand? It might not be a 9 to 5, maybe a side gig that you can work remotely and get your money. Just get a work.
It looks like you're begging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I've seen artists that fall into depression because of the fact that they feel like their own time is not here yet.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. I can name 5, 6 artists that are around right now. They're doing something before they go to where they are. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just get something. Just start doing something. If you're out of school, you understand, you have your work, right? You have a certificate, you have your work. And keep building your brand too.
This thing you're saying now, some people argue with you.
It's not easy. I want it to be easy. It's not easy. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you want to get into the industry so that you're not going to have any kind of issue, they need to be fair. I'm not saying you have the financial stable, but you need to be able to make money to offset your bill.
Yeah. And for an independent artist, I believe you have bills for your personal life. You also have to pay for the bills for the music itself.
Exactly.
So you need to do something to pay for the music.
So what are you saying? You understand?
Yeah.
But even the Bible says God help themselves. You can't just wake up one morning and think that the man of God heaven. No. You understand? If you want to build a career in this industry, then I would advise you have to create a work that's paying you while you're fighting for your brand, while you're fighting for your stake too. Because if you have that, then you won't just rush and sign any deal that comes your way.
Yeah.
Or accept any agreement someone gives to you. Just because you want to just get signed and make money. No. And I think at this point we need to part this conversation. You understand? I think at this point in the industry, we need to pass this issue. You understand? Get a work. Because if you look at most of your role models and mentors out there in the US industry, they just blow. You know, that's what you are doing.
Very few people are that fortunate to just
Exactly.
and blow you
If you go through the issue, you know they had a point when you're working on something, or you're working somewhere, just to offset bills. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for you to steal your house and make only. I understand what they mean to make music. I understand, but then as making your music, try to ensure that you can also offset your bills. So you won't put pressure on your brand.
Of course.
You understand? Because the moment you start putting pressure on your brand, that's the moment you start thinking, I shouldn't sign this deal. You understand? So that's just it. So I think that's the conversation that we need to keep having, and artists need to keep building on that. Have something paying you. You understand? Why you start paying the brand?
Yeah.
I think that might be.
Right. That's very profound. So we've talked about. I think we spent a few minutes on this stage that we talked about. So what else do you think? Like what's the next stage of this artist development?
So like I said, establishment stage is very long.
It's a very long stage, like the longest stage.
Exactly. That's you try to get into the limelight.
Yes.
Try to get your sound and let people accept you.
Mm.
But the moment they accept you, you understand?
Okay.
You become a superstar.
How? Okay, you're a superstar now.
Yes.
How do you sustain it?
You have to keep reinventing.
Can you share more light on what
That's
reinvent?
the last stage. Reinvent.
Reinvent.
You
Okay.
understand? From establishment stage, you become a superstar. The superstar, you have to reinvent.
Yeah.
Now, what does it reinvent? Let me give you an instance now. If I'm a pop star,
Yeah.
let me say I'm Joe Boy. You understand? And let me say I'm Joe Boy. He's a very good artist. I love that guy. So let me say I'm Joe Boy now, right? And then I know that my audience is between the age bracket of, I have a lot of audience, right? But my core audience is between the age bracket of 18 to like 30.
Okay.
Right? Those are like people that are very, very strong with me, my core fans and that particular age bracket. That doesn't mean I don't have other age brackets supporting me, but that's like my core fans.
Mm.
Now let me say, in that core fans, when you do your data analysis, it's clear that from 18 to 25, you understand, are those that can be able to buy your merch,
Yeah.
come to your show,
Yeah.
stream your songs on platforms and all that. So they're the ones that like actually contribute up to 50% of your revenue streams. Now, what you should understand that if I'm 18 years, right, and I'm supporting a particular artist, that means I love his sound.
Yeah.
And I love his sound because it can be 80% sure that I can be able to relate to it. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if that artist keep making that sound for 10 years, I'm out of 8 years, I'm tired of it.
Of course. Of course.
Do you get me now?
Yeah.
What does he need to do? He needs to reinvent. Why? Because his audience is getting old.
Yeah.
Same way he's getting old, his audience is getting old and he needs to reinvent his sound.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. This is where most artists don't find it difficult, because the more they become superstars, the most of them feel like this is the end of it. There's no going down from here. I think we can but no. Your age bracket, that's why you need a good data analysis. Your age bracket keeps growing with you. And the sound that looks cool to them now, my sound has not to them tomorrow. So you as a brand need to keep reinventing. So you can be in touch with your age bracket.
Yeah.
You understand? Your core age bracket, know what they want.
Yeah.
You understand? So I believe that reinvention.
But don't you think that even if you don't probably at every point maybe you're not moving with your brand, you're not moving with your age bracket per se. Don't you think the guys coming, like there will be always 20-year-olds every time. So probably what do you think if you don't reinvent yourself, you might still have some people still listening to your music?
Obviously, people will listen to your music, but let me give you an instance now. I had this popular artist I loved when I was growing up. Popley, Diaro.
Sounds like awesome.
Popley, he was a producer, but he made the music I love, that age of my life. I think he did music for a long time. Yeah. Now, now, those coming up now, your brother, right, that's age bracket, 18, 19, 20, do they know Popley? Would they might play a song and love it, but would they be able to find him?
Very likely.
So that's why it's easier for you to connect with your fan. That's why most of these artists have mail lists. They send mails to their fans, give them update about what's going on in their brand, have social media question and answer session with their brand, with their fans. This is what we're connecting with the fan base. Because if you have a fan base, they grow with you. Yeah. If, for instance, now I love King Promise, he's a Ghanaian artist. I love King Promise. And because I love King Promise, I always have an update of what's going on with him. Right now, he's off social media. Why? Because he wants to make his next album.
So that's
yeah, so I know what's happening because I love him as a brand, yes. Right? I'll follow him. And same way with other people that love him too. If you love Joe Boy, also with Joe Boy. You understand? So you cannot leave Joe Boy. Because he's giving you what you want. Yeah, but at the point, you might get tired of the sound he's giving you if he does not reinvent. Yeah. He has to reinvent to come into their particular reality. That's to say the sound that's that is making more wave at that moment. Yeah. One. Secondly, he's also putting consideration the fact that his fan base is also getting old. So he should get more. He has to put more concentration to kind of sound is making too. Yeah. Right. So these are things that make you, when you reinvent. Even for instance now, Two-Face. Two-Face have been in this industry for almost 10 years now. He has passed that stage now. He's not reinventing. Yeah. So how do you reinvent? You make music with people that are popping. Omale is popping now.
Collaborations.
You collaborate. Because Omale is a new king in the blog. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, but that's the that's the sound people want now. Exactly. You've noticed it. I think that was last 2 years. I don't know when he released this Amaka track. That Amaka track, he had to do a collaboration with Peruzzi. Why? Because Peruzzi was the guy making waves then. Right? And what happened? He smashed it. You get what I'm saying? So you have to reinvent. You have to make music that people can always listen to, yeah. And get to understand what they're doing, what they're saying. So I think
this reinvention is what will determine if an artist will remain up, or if after a while he's going to go down.
Exactly. Sorry for you. And I think when it comes to reinvention, it's not really all about the music too. As a brand, you need to also diversify. Look at other things that you can invest in. Yeah. Yes, because I don't say this music business. Music is not the end, but just a means to the end. If you're a good artist, you'll be able to build your IP assets. Yeah. Without your IP assets, you can be able to go into other source of revenue. Yeah. Understand? So I have this article I put out a few months ago. I think that was December. So look at your source of revenue, right? Understand what you're doing. Get to understand what is making money for you. What do you like? Yes, I don't know what I can say, but let me just try and say if I don't know say, but then
and now I'm very curious.
Okay, like if I don't know, but if I'm someone that loves drinking, you understand? I love drinking. Yeah. I'm always popping bottles in clubs and all that stuff. Yeah. Why not think about starting your own wine brand? Yeah. You understand? For instance, what Post Malone just opened just like his own last year, his own wine brand with his collaboration with his manager in London. Yeah. What's stopping you from doing that? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's stopping you from starting something you love? If you love dressing well, what's stopping you from starting a fashion collection? Yeah. And you're a brand. Yeah. People will buy it because it's Joe Boy selling it. Yeah. Oh, Joe Boy has a new wine. You can buy it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think an example is Jay-Z. Right? When Jay-Z hit that revenge stage, she just starts satisfying. Now I think last year I had ended the collaboration with one cannabis company. Started making marijuana. And he said it.
Of course.
Why? Because it's Jay-Z, it's in the picture. Yeah. And what artists don't know is that the moment you come to limelight, you don't have to start convincing anybody about your value contribution. Your IP assets alone is enough to tell someone that this guy is going to give you something.
You have years of.
Yeah, if I sit down and invest in making maybe a wine shop, a wine company, as I want to partner with you and make a different kind of collection that I have an equity on. The CEO can ask me what I put in the picture. If I'm a star, because
of course,
obviously,
you have
exactly. So that is just it. So I think the reinvention stage is the point whereby an artist, in fact, from the superstar stage, your business manager is going to start making a lot of business models for you
Yes.
to consider.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Do you think there's a stage? I'm just thinking about it right now. That should be called the mentorship stage. A stage where people that have gotten to that point starts mentoring people that are just coming up. Like maybe a two-face now speaking to maybe 18-year-old or 19-year-old artist who is trying to come up and like mentor him and
Yeah, I think that's very vital because it's optional. It's not an obligation.
no, of course it's
It's
not
optional. So I think at the relevant stage, there's a point there's a particular period you be in your relevant stage. You don't put that music every quarter.
of course.
You understand? You put that music once in a while.
Once in a while.
You understand? And focus on your business, right? At that point, I think you have time to like start something that can start people about the stages you have gone through. But I don't think if a superstar can tell me about no, when get into that relevant stage, so it's okay. I've seen it all, and then I think at this position I can be able to advise you on what to expect. Yeah, I think that is just it.
All right. So this has been like 40 minutes, and I think we have talked about the major stages of we have talked about the artist development stages.
Yeah.
What else do you think you want to add to this conversation? Lastly.
Okay, I keep having this conversation, and at any podcast or at any interview, I don't. Funny enough, I don't like interviews.
Me either.
Because I just realized that I talk fast, so people always want to like slow down and talk, and it's very how do I put it? It's stressful for me to do that. Yes, but I try once in a while to do that. But what I'm saying is that I think at the point we are in this industry, the Nigerian music industry is still growing. You need to understand that.
Yes.
And I believe one of the most important things to know is that we need to build knowledge base. Everybody know what they are doing. Artist, manager, lawyer, whatever you are doing. I'm not talking about the music industry alone. In the entertainment sector, you need to understand and know what you are doing. You must know what you are doing. It's not about clout. It's not about social media and making noise. You understand? Sincerely, deeply, you need to have value addition. You need to know what you are doing. Because at that point when you know what you're doing, your value addition skyrockets. You understand? And if we know what we're doing, we improve this industry.
Yeah.
Secondly, equity. We need to having,
Like,
and
like
this,
that word,
I love equity because no, I love equity because
like in every conversation,
yes,
that word has not
it's
come
very important. Equity is very vital. And when I say equity, I'm not talking about I mean when you're having a conversation with an investor, a foreign investor, don't look at how much he's giving you. Look at most about and before an investor comes to work with you, let me share value.
Of course.
You have value. And if you have value, you need to understand your value. And you should use that value to understand how much equity you can have in that company, on that discussion, that conversation having with that foreign investor. Because let me be sincere with you, what happens is that most of the companies that are operating in Nigeria, right, are foreign companies. So they just came here to make money and they transfer the bulk of it out of the country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have indigenous companies in Nigeria, most of them, right? And we wouldn't have a conversation. So because that's the only way we can be able to build an industry. And people have not realized that, and that's why it's like we are not going to go far if we don't have this equity conversation. Everybody should need to, and you cannot have an equity conversation if you don't know the music business. So first of all, know the music business. If you know the music business, then you know where you're coming from and the kind of point you want to go to.
Right.
So like the equity conversation is very important. I know I don't say it a lot. Like,
if they are things that you talk about, you have to know the music business. You always say that in
I know the music business, and it's not equity.
Yeah.
I must have an equity conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
All right. It's been 45 minutes, and I think we'll draw the curtain at this point.
Sure.
We've talked about 5 stages of artist development,
Yes.
and I feel like every artist needs to go through these 5 stages to build a very good brand.
Sure.
You shouldn't be trying to blow, like just blow. It's very everybody wants to blow, even me I want to blow.
Yeah.
But don't forget the vital aspect of this.
And it's not blow. Blow as I remain relevant.
And remain.
Exactly.
Blow.
Because after what depression, you blowing and falling down. That's very bad.
Like,
And people, and when you blow and fall down, come on is very hard. The same way as an upcoming artist.
You've not had that.
You never had that. Yeah, so like, that's just it. Yeah.
All right. So thanks for listening to this podcast. We will have on that one shortly. These are about 5 minutes. I hope you gain some value from it.
Sure.
Yeah, yours.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice having you here.
Thank you.